Imagine a world divided, a patchwork of city-states and kingdoms, each with its own distinct culture and identity. This was the world before Alexander the Great, a time when ancient Greece and Persia were powerhouses in the cradle of Western civilization. In the heart of the Mediterranean, Greece was not a unified country as we know it today, but rather a collection of city-states. Each of these city-states, such as Athens and Sparta, was an entity unto itself, flaunting its own government, its own army, and its own way of life. Athens, the birthplace of democracy, was a hub of philosophy and intellectual discourse, while Sparta was a militaristic society, known for its disciplined and fearsome warriors. These city-states were often at odds with each other, their rivalries and alliances shifting like the Aegean winds. Yet they shared a common language, a common religion, and a common identity as Hellenes, or Greeks. Beyond the Aegean Sea to the east lay the mighty Persian Empire, a vast kingdom stretching from Egypt to India. The Persians were seen as the other, the barbarians, by the Greek city-states. The tension between Greece and Persia grew over time, erupting in wars that would shape the course of history. The Persian Empire, led by powerful kings such as Cyrus the Great and Darius, was a multi-ethnic empire with a centralized bureaucracy and an efficient system of roads. The Persians were renowned for their tolerance of other cultures and their advanced system of administration, yet their attempts to extend their influence over the Greek city-states were met with fierce resistance. In this world of conflicting interests and ambitions, a child was born who would change everything. His name was Alexander. Born in 356 BC to King Philip II of Macedon and his wife Olympias, Alexander was a child of destiny. From the start, his life was steeped in power and political intrigue. His father, a formidable ruler, recognized Alexander's potential and ensured he received a royal education fit for a future king. Alexander's tutelage under the renowned philosopher Aristotle was a defining period in his formative years. Aristotle, a man of vast knowledge and wisdom, exposed young Alexander to a wide range of disciplines, from philosophy and politics to science and the arts. This education not only shaped his intellect but also honed his strategic thinking, which would later prove vital in his military campaigns. In these early years, Alexander's relationship with his parents played a crucial role in his development. His father Philip was a seasoned warrior and a shrewd diplomat whose influence on Alexander was profound. From him, Alexander learned the art of leadership and the intricacies of warfare. His mother Olympias, on the other hand, was a fiercely ambitious woman who instilled in her son a sense of divine destiny and a hunger for greatness. Alexander's first taste of power came at the tender age of 16, when his father, King Philip, left him in charge of Macedon as regent while he went off to battle. This early experience of rulership, albeit temporary, was a crucial stepping stone in his journey to becoming one of the greatest conquerors in history. But perhaps it was the turbulent relationship between his parents that had the most profound impact on Alexander. Their constant power struggles and eventual separation undoubtedly shaped his views on power, loyalty, and ambition. The early years of Alexander's life were a complex blend of privilege, education, and familial strife. But these experiences, both good and bad, helped shape him into the man he would become. As he grew, so did his ambition, and the stage was set for his rise to power. In 336 BC, King Philip II was assassinated, and Alexander ascended to the throne. The death of Philip II, Alexander's father, was a shocking event that threw the kingdom into turmoil. Alexander, a mere 20 years old, found himself in a position of unprecedented power and responsibility. The circumstances surrounding Philip's assassination were shrouded in mystery, with whispers of conspiracy and treachery filling the court. Amid this uncertainty, Alexander acted with swift and decisive authority, quelling potential rebellions and consolidating his hold on the throne. His early rule was marked by a series of successful military campaigns, designed not just to display his power, but also to unify Macedonia under his rule. Alexander proved himself to be a shrewd and capable leader, earning the loyalty and respect of his soldiers and his subjects. His leadership style was one of direct engagement and personal bravery, setting a precedent for future monarchs. With Macedonia under his control, Alexander turned his gaze to the wider world. In 334 BC, Alexander embarked on a campaign to conquer the mighty Persian Empire. A daunting task, no doubt, but with his Macedonian phalanx and his strategic genius, he was ready to take on the challenge. The first significant clash of this campaign was the Battle of Issus in 333 BC. Darius III, the Persian king, had a larger army, but Alexander's strategic brilliance turned the tide in his favor. Instead of directly attacking the enemy's front, Alexander led a cavalry charge on their flank, causing chaos and confusion in the Persian ranks. This clever maneuver led to a decisive victory for the Macedonians, and the Persian king was forced to flee, leaving his family behind. Yet the conquest was far from over. The Battle of Gaugamela in 331 BC was the next crucial engagement. Darius had learned from his previous defeat and prepared a flat battlefield to neutralize the Macedonian phalanx. But Alexander, always one step ahead, used the echelon formation to break the Persian line and targeted Darius directly. In the ensuing chaos, Darius fled once again, and the Persian army crumbled. These victories were not just military triumphs for Alexander, they had profound effects on the Persian Empire. With each victory, Alexander gained more territory and power, and the once mighty Persian Empire was beginning to crumble. Cities were surrendered or taken by force, and Persian subjects were gradually incorporated into Alexander's growing empire. Yet, it wasn't just about the conquest for Alexander. He embraced Persian customs and even adopted Persian dress, a move that was controversial among his Macedonian soldiers. But for Alexander, it was a way to unify his new empire and bridge the gap between the conqueror and the conquered. By 331 BC, Alexander was the master of Persia, but his ambition was not yet satisfied. With Persia under his control, Alexander turned his armies eastward, towards India. This vast and diverse land was a new frontier, teeming with opportunities and challenges. Alexander, ever the ambitious conqueror, was eager to make his mark. The Indian campaign was a series of battles, victories, and setbacks. The Battle of Hydaspes, fought against King Porus, was a significant victory for Alexander. Despite the victory, the hard-fought battle and the resilience of the Indian armies left a profound impact on Alexander and his soldiers. The unfamiliar terrain, the monsoons, and the fierce resistance they encountered, it all began to take a toll. Following Hydaspes, Alexander's men, weary and homesick, pleaded with their leader to turn back. Faced with the prospect of a mutiny and recognizing his men's weariness, Alexander made a decision that marked a turning point in his campaign. He agreed to return home. The journey back to Babylon was not an easy one. Along the way, Alexander continued to establish cities, consolidate his rule, and spread Greek culture. However, the hardships of the campaign had weakened him, both physically and mentally. Upon his return to Babylon, Alexander fell ill suddenly. His health deteriorated rapidly, and on a sultry day in June 323 BC, the mighty conqueror breathed his last. The man who had conquered the world, the invincible warrior, was defeated by an unknown illness. Alexander's death was as dramatic as his life. It sparked a wave of conspiracy theories, speculations, and power struggles. But amidst all the chaos, one thing was clear. Alexander, in his short life of just 32 years, had changed the face of the world. At just 32 years old, Alexander the Great was dead, but his legacy was far from over. In his short life, Alexander the Great fundamentally reshaped the world. Born in the heart of Macedonia, this extraordinary figure went on to conquer vast territories stretching from Greece to Egypt and as far east as India. But his influence did not end with his conquests. Alexander's victories ignited the Hellenistic period, a vibrant era that saw the fusion of Greek culture with those of Persia, Egypt, and other regions under his rule. Greek language, art, and philosophy flourished far beyond their native borders, weaving into the fabric of societies across the known world. This cultural diffusion profoundly impacted the development of the ancient world, laying the groundwork for the advancement of sciences, arts, and philosophical thought. But Alexander's legacy is not just about the spread of culture. His military strategies and tactics, his visionary leadership, and his relentless ambition have been studied and admired for centuries. He's become an enduring symbol of power, a benchmark for military genius, and a fascinating character in the annals of history. Alexander's reputation has evolved throughout the ages. Revered as a hero, reviled as a tyrant, romanticized as a visionary, his image has been sculpted and reshaped by the hands of time. He's been the subject of countless books, plays, and films, a testament to the lasting fascination with his life and achievements. Despite his early death at the age of just 32, Alexander's influence has rippled through the ages. His name is synonymous with greatness, his story an enduring testament to the power of ambition and the force of human will. He was more than a conqueror, more than a king. Alexander was a catalyst, a man who not only changed his world, but also left an indelible mark on the course of human history. Alexander the Great was a man of extraordinary ambition, a man who truly changed the world. Thank you for joining us on this journey through his life. Don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating historical insights.